I will get into the next first round pick that we had.
I'm so happy about
so,
this one.
So
I'm
we
so
had
happy.
we had 3 first round picks going into this draft, and only one of the spots that we were supposed to pick in were correct. We had 2 major trades in this first round. First one being, which was really funny because when we were at the draft interview, they brought on Luke and I believe it was either Heater or Matt McConnell to start talking, and somebody yells in the back, "We traded! Turn the TV back on!" And they like immediately stopped them and brought the TV back on. So the Coyotes, I'm gonna pull up the trade here, moved up in the draft by calling up San Jose and saying, "Hey, we will take 11th overall, and in return, we will give you the 2022 first round, 27th overall, 2022 second round, 34th overall, and 2022 second round, 45th overall." That is a lot of assets for the newly acquired San Jose Sharks general manager. I don't disagree with the trade on his end. I think that it was pretty smart. You get 3 assets for 1. Yes, it's not as high quality assets that you would get at 11, but he desperately needs players under contract to stop the bleeding from the cap space hell that he's in right now. Makes sense. It makes a lot of sense why he would do this trade. I thought it was a great trade for San Jose, and an even better trade for Arizona because they had all the assets. They had 7 assets going into this draft. They had 8 a few months back, but they decided to trade 1 away for, I believe it was McBain. So going into this draft with 7 assets, they trade 3 of those assets to move up to 11th overall, where they picked your guy. You were quite high on him. The Conor Geekie, funny enough, is very similar play style to. It reminds a lot of scouts, similar to Jumbo Joe, which funny enough the pick was for San Jose, and they traded away. But what are your thoughts on Conor Geekie?
Funnier enough, I actually won the Stanley Cup in NHL 22 before the draft party because I was just bored, killing time for my wife got off work. I traded up Nikita Gutsev, who I made into a 30-some-odd goal scorer, and 2 second-round picks to trade up to 7th to get Conor Geekie. He was my highest draft pick in that before I left for the draft. So I thought that was really cool. I'm like, oh, hell yeah. They're finally on the same page as me. They're high on Geekie. I liked, just, again, a little bit that I'm familiar with, tiny little bit. I like his size. I liked what he offers. But primarily, I just like that we're getting more offensive centers. And the fact that this trade, I want to briefly talk about this in case there's a question that comes up, just as a preemptive thing. So I was super against that second-round pick going, I think it was it Philly's way? Whoever we traded up to get Victor Soderstrom, he moved up 3 or 4 spots. I didn't like that because I'm like, we're moving up 3 or 4 spots. A third-round pick should have got that done.
Yeah.
But here we moved from 27. We moved up 16 spots to grab a guy we want. Those 2 second-rounders, get rid of them. It wasn't like that was our only second-round pick. Also additional context, so we can afford it. But I'm like, we're moving up so much. 2 seconds essentially, would equal a first. So you're taking a low first and let's say 2 low firsts and moving up to just outside of the top 10. I think that's insane value.
Yeah.
11th overall is worth more than 27th. Let's just stop the buck right there and be honest with ourselves.
We will definitely look back at this trade and see who was the winner and loser with this one. The funny part, or I need to stop saying funny. I just said it a bunch of times. So the interesting part about this is that usually when you trade one asset for more assets, the likelihood of those extra assets turning into something is a bit higher. Especially in this draft where it was all over the place and guys who they thought were in the first round were dropping to the second round and guys that were in the second round were jumping up to the first round. It was all over the place. The picks that San Jose not acquired, drafted with, was Philip Bystettel, Cameron Lund, and Matthias Havlid. So if you hear any of those names on San Jose coming up in the next few years and they are blowing up the league, well, you can chalk this one up to another Coyotes L. But I think we are going to be very happy with Conor Geekie. And holy crap, we went from having one of the weakest center depths to having a beautiful young I'm trying to blank for my words here. A beautiful young
core of
center
centers,
prospect.
like, take you to the future.
Yeah, like center prospect pool. That's what I'm trying to think of word wise. Yeah, I think that is great. The biggest knock that I have on Conor Geekie that I've seen personally, watching the tape. No, I don't go to see these games live in person. I live in Arizona. Don't have the time. I do have my passport, but I don't have the money or time to go watch these games. I like a lot. I think his vision is incredible. He has a great pass. He's a big body at 6'2", I think. The biggest knock that I have on him is that he needs to get faster. I think his overall foot speed is good, but that quick first step he needs to get better at if he's going to be an NHLer. And the other one being that I don't see him use that frame to his advantage. I'm not saying you have to blow a guy up. I don't think that's the way that Conor Geekie will be playing. He's not going to blow a guy up. But if you're going to have a big frame like that, you got to learn how to use it. I don't see him driving the net as often with that frame and being able to out-muscle a player while they're trying to defend him. He needs to get better with that. I think that is one of his major flaws, in my opinion, that he needs to get better with. If you want inspiration, Connor, go watch Jumbo Joe. I believe that he could be potentially a Jumbo Joe type playmaking centerman.
Dude, imagine having the Chad Logan Cooley in your first line, and then having to sit there and ask yourself, who do you want to pair with Geekie, Dylan Guenther or Nick Schmaltz?
Mm-hmm.
Look at the embarrassment of riches that is.
Yeah, I think
look at that.
that's an awesome setup there. Like if you wanna think about this, you go Schmaltz, Cooley, Keller, and then I may have the wingers back flip flops. Just ignore that. I'm just saying winger, center, winger. Mm-hmm. Then you have Gunner with the new kid Geekie, and then maybe either Smith, McBain, or Michelli. And then your third line, you have Lawson Krause with Barrett Hayden centering, and then whoever you want to stick on that wing. Like, that looks a lot healthier than we've seen in previous time.